Enoch Powell is seen as something of a demonic figure in our modern globalist liberal world. He's supposedly motivated by an irrational hatred of anybody who's even a little bit different to him, and he wants to bring forward a world of evil, oppression, genocide and hatred. At least that's the liberalist version of him. It's sort of a foundational mythology of the liberal state. He was one of the people who had to be destroyed so the utopia could be brought forth. However, despite being a pariah amongst the political and media class, he has remained quite a firm popularity with the actual people themselves. People of Britain and Europe who look around their continent and countries and now see that maybe he wasn't simply a hate-filled irrational bigot, but simply a clever man who was a warrior and a scholar outlining the future that Britain and Europe had in front of it if it didn't change course. Yet some evil, toxic bigot decided to suggest this at the Tory Conference, and just listen to the amount of disdain he gets for simply suggesting this.
My second question is, Enoch Powell made what is now a highly conservative speech in the 1968, of which he was smeared and kicked out of the Conservative Party. Are the Conservatives willing to apologise and unsmear his name for what, in hindsight, has been quite a fair and accurate prediction of what came, which is not rivers of blood? He never actually said rivers of blood, but actually, as your man said, heinous crimes have been committed by some of these unidentified individuals. Surely it's about time we said, made a statement saying that Enoch shouldn't have been treated the way he was for the statements he made.
Thank you. We go back now to microphone number 1.
This is why the Tory party is failing abysmally at the moment. We can all see the issues around us, but our leaders are so convinced that they have to hold to the Blairite utopia, they're frightened for their careers to even acknowledge what we can all see. What we can see is cities like Bradford, which were once relatively unremarkable, yet have now been taken over by the religion of peace and become one of the most dangerous cities in Europe according to a crime index. Birmingham too was once a relatively unremarkable city and has since been diversified. It's now the gun capital of Britain and has vloggers and YouTubers going down its Soho Road to exhibit the rot. And London, well, we don't really need to go into that. There are no British people there anymore. It's increasingly dangerous and violent, so violent in fact the murder rate is catching up with New York. And on top of that, we've had plenty of terror attacks, grooming gangs, cultural erosion and a demonisation of the indigenous British. But our liberal leaders don't seem to notice any of this, and if they do, it's somehow your fault anyway. They'll just use every opportunity they can get to tell you that diversity is our strength. What they mean is diversity is their strength, and you're a stupid, evil bigot for noticing anything that's wrong with modern Britain. In fact, you're not welcome in it. Well, I think many of us figured that out a long time ago, which comes to the final question. Was Enoch right? Did he have a point? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do consider subscribing to the channel.